In this demo, we'll be adding support for Markdown in our project so that we can use both restructured text files and Markdown files for our docs. If you look at the Getting Started information on the Read the Docs guide, they have the instructions we'll follow and some notes. The note at the bottom of the section points out that you're missing out on some features of Sphinx if you use Markdown docs, and also shows a link that'll give some deeper reasoning for why the authors of Read the Docs prefer restructured text for technical documentation. It's definitely worth a read if you have the time. To get set up, we'll be installing a Python package called recommonMark, and the import statement shows Common Mark Parser. There's one flavor of Markdown called Common Mark that tried to standardize some things across the different Markdown formats, but there are many other variants, including one for GitHub, and that can be problematic for a common parser. But if you're watching this clip, you may have some already existing Markdown that you'd rather use as is versus converting it to restructured text. If so, great, we'll go through the steps here, but you may need to be aware that the parser appears to be specifically looking for the Common Mark format of Markdown. Okay, enough preamble. Let's get down to it. We'll copy the code they want us to add to our conf.py file, and then jump in. In our terminal window, we'll take the first step and install the recommonMark package. Easy enough. Then we'll add that code we copied into the conf.py file underneath the setup function we defined earlier. Now let's get a Markdown file added. As noted before, you may have some pre-existing Markdown files you just want included, and you can copy them into the directory wherever you want them. I didn't have one just laying around, so I'll add a new one, and then add the content for it. I won't really explain the syntax for Markdown either, since it's beyond the scope of what we're covering in this course. But we should be able to build the project at this time and have our Markdown file included in the mix. When we do this, it works, but we get a warning from the compiler that our new file isn't included in any talk tree. This may be something that's okay in different cases for you, where you link to the doc from other places, but I'll add it in just to show that including Markdown files in a talk tree is the same as the RST files we've been working with. So down at the bottom of our index file where the talk trees are defined, I'll add a new section for About and include the same set of attributes that are in the other sections, and then reference the About doc I just created. We'll save the file, run a build, and we get clean results this time, so we'll launch the main index file, and then we see the About link in the talk tree, and when we click on the link, we see our Markdown page, and despite the slightly different markup, it looks nicely consistent with the other docs on our doc site. Swell!